Hey, what is up, phone dogs? Beau HD here, and this is the next latest and greatest BLU product to be released. It's called the BLU Studio 6.0 LTE, and it's one of the higher end BLU devices on the market, or at least more so than the BLU Studio 7.0, which we took a look at not too long ago. This phone features a 6-inch Full HD display and a quad-core Snapdragon 400 processor clocked at 1.6 GHz, a 13-megapixel rear-facing camera and 5-megapixel front-facing camera, 2 gigs of RAM, 4G LTE, and a microSD card slot, expandable up to 32 gigabytes, and it's running Android 4.4 KitKat. So pretty solid specs. All we have to do to open up this box is slide off the top just like so, and we will see the Studio 6.0 LTE sitting right on top. It's in a little protective bag, which I'm going to set off to the side for a moment because there are some more BLU goodies in here. We have a 3200 milliamp battery underneath the Studio 6.0 LTE. Below that is a standard USB wall wart, which works in conjunction with the included micro USB charging cable here as well. There are some included headphones with built-in mic, so you can make calls with these. There's also an included protective case, which is an accessory you will typically find with most BLU devices. It's a bit unusual, but it's nice to see them include a protective case in here. Underneath that, though, is some basic SIM card installation guides and setup instructions guides. Pretty basic stuff. The last thing in the box is a screen protector, which is another item you generally don't see included with the purchase of a smartphone, so you definitely get the whole package here. If we take a look back at the Studio 6.0 LTE and take it out of the bag and rip off all that plastic, we'll see that this phone is on the bigger side since it does feature a 6-inch display, but the bezels are pretty damn thin, which is awesome to see. I mean, I love me some thin bezels. And honestly, this phone doesn't feel too terribly big for me at all. Granted, I am rocking the Nexus 6 right now, so it's in the same ball field. If we take a look around the device, we'll find nothing on the left-hand side, the power sleep on-off button below the volume up and down controls on the right-hand side. There's a 3.5mm headphone jack up top and a micro USB charging port down below at the bottom. The 5-megapixel front-facing camera is up top on the front with capacitive touch buttons for the menu, home, and back commands. It would be nice to see some software buttons on here, or at the very least replace the menu button with a multitasking button, but maybe that's just personal preference. This configuration does work. On the back, we do have a 13-megapixel camera sensor and flash with a plastic build, which I'm not a fan of whatsoever. However, I do understand it. I mean, BLU wants to cut the cost here, and well, plastic is how you do that. It does also make the phone feel much lighter in the hands too, so I guess that is a pro. Now, before we power this phone on, we need to insert the 3200 milliamp battery pack into the back of the phone. We can do this by prying off the back cover. This is also where we'll find the micro SD card slot and a dual SIM card slot. Also, I noticed that there was a screen protector here pre-installed on the device, so for this video, I'm going to actually take it off, which we will see might increase the quality and vibrancy of the display. Maybe not, but I just personally don't like screen protectors. But the Full HD 6-inch display is pretty decent. The colors are a tad bit dull, but it's certainly one of the better features of the phone. Just by running through the OS, the animations aren't very smooth. It sort of makes me wonder what kind of GPU is in here and if the CPU is having trouble powering the Full HD display, because it's not very smooth. I mean, it does run a very minimal skin on top of Android 4.4.2 KitKat, and it's basically as close to stock Android as one can get without actually being stock Android, so that's definitely a plus. Overall, the BLU Studio 6.0 LTE looks to be a great option for anyone wanting a moderately spec'd large phone that won't break the bank. And now that the BLU Studio 6.0 has LTE, I think it'll be much more tempting of an offer if you're looking to spend not much more than a couple $100 for a smartphone. So with that said, I'm Beau HD from PhoneDog.com. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.